Good morning, everybody. I'm Danielle Knox, and welcome to The Balancing Act. Today, a creative career where you can embroider your way to payday, and a way to streamline your stereo system so that those cumbersome cables are no longer an eyesore. All that and more today on The Balancing Act. Well, if you're an artsy crafty type who loves creating something beautiful as well as functional, and if you haven't thought about embroidery as an option to do at home, we have the next wave in creative home businesses, an embroidery machine that's small enough to keep at home or travel with, yet powerful enough to produce embroidered apparel pretty quickly and easily, Kathy.
And easy it is. Look how beautiful and professional this looks.
Beautiful.
I think this is something you and I could both do.
I think it's something that I can watch you do. Gotta be honest.
Okay. Here to tell us more about this fun and functional machine is June Mellinger, Director of Education for Brother International. Welcome, June.
Hey, it's nice to see you again, Kathy.
We appreciate you being with us. You know, I was joking with you about that because I really am not gifted at this, but what you're saying is that this is something that pretty much anybody can do, right?
Of course
Tell
you
us about the
can.
history of embroidery.
Well, you know, people have been embroidering or embellishing their things back, well, way back to the Stone Age, in fact. And it's just followed through over the ages. And, you know, even years ago when people wanted to embroider something very special because it became something to remember. Well, they, even back, a friend of mine told me that in India, when a young girl was born, they would start embroidering 8 feet of silk for her own special sari.
And that was
All by
hand
hand.
All by
right?
hand.
Holy
So that
cow.
took a long, long time. Now, those same people can use technology to embroider those things automatically, and the job is done in no time flat,
And
as you
check
said.
this out.
Lots of great
Lots of
stuff.
great
This,
stuff.
absolutely. This is done. You can do this at home.
Yes, you can.
But it looks like $1 million.
It looks like $1 million.
You
And
can, the way that you can start a business is absolutely phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. You can set your own hours. You can decide where you want the business to be. You can decide how much money you want to make. And that's born of how much you can do. And it's easy to learn. All you have to do is get this machine, the PR620.
Tell us about this. Tell us a little bit about this
6
machine.
needles.
Okay.
Don't have to worry about threading any of the needles because it automatically threads every needle. It automatically cuts the thread when it's done embroidering. It's 6 needles, but you could do 99 different colors. You can download designs from the internet via the USB sticks that we all like to use.
So can I do original artwork as well?
Yes, you can. You can get an optional software program that you can create your
Our own designs. Be our own
You can even
designer.
take a photograph and make it into something.
Oh, I love that. I've seen that
Good
done, and that
idea.
looks so great.
That's
And it's so easy to use. You don't have to worry about, well, you know, I'm not really sure. A quick drill through the instruction manual, even using the instruction manual that's built into the machine. It's easy.
It's just a touch of a button, basically.
Touch of the button.
Very, very simple.
Yes.
Show us the end result of what this machine can do,
some
because we
great
have here on the
examples.
table some great
There's
examples
some great
of
examples.
embroidery.
You know, a lot of people
Oh,
like to
that's so
personalize that
cute.
cute little bear, you know, and you could even add someone's
his
initials on the front with the date that you made the bear. Doctors' offices
Yes.
love to have something special to kind of denote who the company is.
Even hair salons,
Hair
things like
salons,
that.
anywhere that want to personalize it.
This is great.
Great little
Very functional.
water jug there for you to take along and
So this is
slip
just an
in
insert.
the design. Slip in the
Simple
design.
to
You've
do.
got a business.
Wow, this would be great for fundraisers for
Great
schools.
fundraisers.
Awesome.
My daughter-in-law got into this business about a year ago, and now she's into weddings and baby gifts. People are calling her from all over the country.
I hadn't even thought about that. That's
absolutely.
awesome.
It's great.
That's a terrific way to start a
Well,
business.
if people want to find out more information, where can they do that?
They can visit our website. It's brother-usa.com/home sewing, and they can find out lots of great information about this brand new machine from Brother, the PR620.
Thanks,
All
June.
right. We thank
Fabulous.
you. We appreciate it, June.
You're welcome.
Coming up next, if you're on a quest for equality in your relationships, we have an expert's opinion next.
Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Winter, here with one tip from my new book, The 7 Steps to a Healthy Brain. It is important to laugh every day, early and often. Find friends that make you laugh. The more you laugh, the less stress you'll have.
Hi, welcome back. Well, today we're discussing a very thought-provoking subject, equality in marriage.
Oh boy, I think I know where this one is going. But you know, this is really a good topic of conversation because as we try to balance our lives, our children, our careers, you name it, relationships are often really hard to put on a balance.
Yes, and as divorce continues to be an ever-present reality for so many people, the quest for a happy marriage is, well, it can be quite a journey. With us today to discuss this topic is Tim Kellis, author of Equality, The Quest for a Happy Marriage. Hi, Tim.
Tim, thank you
Hello,
for being
ladies.
with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
You have found the secret.
I believe I've solved the marriage problem. Yeah.
Okay,
All
please.
in one fell swoop.
Clue us in,
Right
Tim.
in us.
Well, the bottom line is, and the way I address it in the book, is you have to understand how the mind works. And believe it or not, I think this is the only relationship book that's ever addressed marriages from the mental perspective. You have to do that because you got to understand your problems. What I basically do is I take the reader on a journey through his mind or her mind, and I also take him on a journey through his partner's mind because you have to understand the partner's perspective. And conflict resolution is where we're going.
So what are your core key points, Tim?
Well, they're basically, the book is split into 4 sections.
Okay.
The first section is the appropriate relationship, what I call a positive relationship. I use examples of capitalism, for example.
So it's kind of a model of how a relationship should be.
50-50 partnership where you both have to agree. How's that for a concept?
Both have to agree?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
come
you
on,
know,
you
see,
can't
for
agree to
me,
disagree?
And I can't, for me, the 50-50 thing, that's because sometimes don't you agree it's not always going to be 50-50, and isn't that okay?
Well, the reality is, and what I mean, you have to understand the mental perspective of the man and the mental perspective of the woman. The agreement, when I mean 50-50, it means you both have to understand each other's perspective and come to terms that are the best for both of you. So, I mean, I don't mean, the problem when you say 50-50 is you try and quantify it, but I don't mean literally 50%.
Right, because
50%,
not necessarily, like you're not advocating that if there happens to be a couple that has traditional gender roles, for instance, you don't advocate that they both should make equal amounts, should give equal amount in child care, should equal amount in, you know, you're basically saying it'll even out if people understand what the quantity.
The books that I've read that describe equality from a behavioral perspective don't get to the issue. When I say equality, I mean mental equality. Women are more emotional, men are more logical. Now, how do you think we're going to come together? I should have to understand your emotional perspective, and you would maybe want to understand my logical perspective. That's equality.
Well,
So that's when you say 50-50, you mean an equal voice and an equal able to understand empathy for each other.
Well, this came from a really personal place for you, didn't it? Tell us a brief history of your story and how you went from, was it Wall Street to writing?
Exactly. Well, first, you know, I grew up relatively poor. My dad was a cab driver for 22 years. My mom was a secretary, and put myself through engineering school, 9 years of communications equipment industry experience, got my MBA, landed on Wall Street where I was the first semiconductor analyst to focus on the communications market. But anyhow, and then to hide all this, I met this girl I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and we got engaged, fought, went to a therapist, and when I realized that didn't work, took on the issue myself. Over 100 books went into the research of this book.
When you were fighting, were you reading books trying to resolve the issues and realizing there was nothing out there, and so you wrote your own, or what was that? How did
Afterwards. This was my cathartic experience with that relationship falling apart. So.
My favorite quote is that Richard Bach quote, "We teach best what we most need to learn."
Well,
your process.
innovation comes from inspiration too.
Right.
I mean, so yeah, it was a personal journey.
So it's difficult for us to tell our viewers exactly, it's a good read, it's a deep, long read, and it's not going to be a quick, 7 steps to a perfect marriage, because you don't give behavioral
He
advice.
laughs when you say that because he thinks that's so funny and not in a good way.
Right.
Yeah,
So you don't give behavioral advice, but you do give a few suggestions for how people can become more psychologically aware of their behaviors, perhaps.
Well, the point is you have to find out what causes behavior. This whole notion of the psychology industry of giving behavioral advice, character traits cause behavior, to really boil it down. And character traits are basically our system of beliefs that are in the unconscious. And you have to understand those character traits in order to be able to figure out the appropriate behavior subsequent to that. So, and the bottom line is, and this is unfortunately because of the Freud biology theory, the industry hasn't yet understood the notion that there are sources of our mental trouble.
Right.
Insecurities.
You know, a lot of us, want to be able to digest things quickly and easily, Tim. You want to be able to, okay, this is what we need to do to move on.
Right.
This book is very, very detailed. What would your suggestion be? What do you hope people take away from the book? And what would your suggestion be for them to really get into this and it's basically a cover-to-cover read in order to get all of the information you want them to get?
I'm just now beginning to work with couples. I've got my first couple I'm working with, and I'm trying to recruit more to get the husband and the wife to take an hour before they go to sleep. Instead of watching CSI, read the book together, discuss the different sections together. I basically use examples of history, you know, Martin Luther King in civil disobedience on how to interact with each other. Hitler went to his death under the bunker as opposed to admitting he was prejudiced. As it turns out, our insecurities, the root causes of our insecurities are prejudices, which are preconceived opinions. Mom and dad were an alcoholic. Your spouse has a drink. Guess what you're going to think of your spouse?
Right.
They're automatically an
Must be an
alcoholic. Yeah,
alcoholic.
been there, done that.
So a lot of it is our perceptions. You know, we have to wrap up with very little time left, though. One of the things that you say about relationships that I love a lot is that the conflict that happens in relationships happens for a reason. What's
Right.
that reason?
There are insecurities. You have to, and the bottom line here is.
But our insecurities to help change our insecurities?
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
When you argue, you are actually revealing your insecurities.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's sort of the point. There's a reason why you get angry. You don't get angry just because.
It's to help us grow, isn't it? Conflict
Exactly.
helps us grow.
Well, if you're approaching the marriage positively, you get to grow together. How's that for a concept?
That's very positive.
Yeah, no, and that's very true.
Tim, thank you very much again.
No problem.
The book is Equality, The Quest for a Happy Marriage. We should say he's happily married now with a 3-year-old son. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. Stay tuned for a travel-friendly shoe that is fashion-conscious, too.
Every child deserves to feel good about school, especially yours. Save $100 on a Sylvan Learning Program and get 2 other coupons from Sylvan in this complimentary coupon book from Country Inns and Suites, which has free breakfast, free in-room high-speed internet, and kid-friendly swimming pools. So book your stay and upload movies and photos from your vacation for all your relatives to see at www.seeyouontheporch.com.
Hi, I'm Danielle Knox. Summer travel season is here, and if you are anything like me, you've got one suitcase that's full of all your favorite summer clothes, right? But you've got another suitcase that's full of all your favorite year-round shoes. My colleague Kathy Peterson joins me here now this morning, and you've got to agree, we do have that extra suitcase just for the shoes, right?
Yeah, shoe fanatics.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to us, but it's just something in us.
Genetic.
Well, you need to bring something to match with every outfit as well. So joining us today is Dominique McLean Barteet, creator of One Soul, a unique product that is both stylish and travel friendly.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
Thanks, great to be here.
Your shoes, I mean, what a great concept. And I'm sure it's one of those things that people say, gosh, why didn't I think of that, right?
Every day.
You hear that every day. How did it start? Because you didn't have a background in business. You're a pharmacist.
Right, I started this as a hobby in the back of my pharmacy. I've been a pharmacist for 20 years, and I started this about 4 years ago, and because I would stand on my feet for 12 hours a day as a pharmacist, and I traveled a lot, and I had, like you said, a whole bag full of shoes, and one day I bought, like, you know, the same shoe in all different colors, and I thought,
I've done
Been there, done that.
That's me.
that's what gave me the idea, because I thought the sole is the same. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just change the top? So that's what made me start toying around
Brilliant
with it.
idea. Well, let's get to the fun part. I mean,
The
there are
shoes.
so many different styles, so many different colors. You've got the cork, you've got the wedge, you've got the low, and I mean, it's just unbelievable. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I did the shoe for fun at first, but then I realized I helped a lot of people when I did this because it's such a comfortable shoe, and that's our main
Yeah.
selling point.
'Cause you
And
tried one
I
of
did,
mine.
and it is
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
people have
comfortable.
bunions or extra wide feet or extra
Pregnancy.
narrow,
And
if you walk a lot.
swelling. So yeah, if you're sightseeing for hours, you can walk in this. It feels like a bedroom shoe, and it's like very easy to operate. You just like snap it off just like that.
Okay.
Just snaps right off.
easily. Every top fits every shoe. There's no right or left.
And I noticed that it's very stretchy,
Stretchy.
which is even better
Right.
because when your feet get tired.
It's like a neoprene, so it'll conform to your foot. So
And
you
it just
like,
snaps
fit the
right
glove.
on.
And look
Yeah.
at the colors.
That
And they
is
are
We have
really
600 different styles at a time.
So you've made it more difficult for us.
Yeah.
We know we can buy just the 3 pair of basic shoes, but then we've got 600 tops we have to choose from. That's great. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, though, was with something like this, and you find it has universal appeal, do you have other styles you're creating as well?
Yeah, we have a different sole comes out about every 3 or 4 months, and then we have different tops constantly changing every month.
So it's endless. I
Right,
mean,
endless possibilities.
600 is just probably a small amount compared to what's going to happen next year, right?
Right.
She's like, right, yeah. I'm already so tired with this 600 I have here right now.
Well, I know, excuse me, I know a lot of people are going to want to know where
Yeah.
they can find the One Soul. Tell us where we can find them.
We're in almost 2,000 stores throughout the States and Canada, and you can find them on our website on onesoul.com, or you can order online on our website also.
Oh, well, we really appreciate it. It's a fascinating story, and best of luck as you continue your expansion with these wonderful shoes.
All right, thanks.
Next, we're on a mission to organize your audio and video cables, and it's not mission impossible.
Why should you eat more peanut butter? Because it's healthy. It's filling, and it can be a dieter's best friend. First of all, it has the awesome combination of fiber and protein that fills you up. Second, it's packed with nutrition, including antioxidant vitamin E, magnesium, potassium, and immunity-boosting vitamin B6, as well as the good fat. Did you know that eating peanuts can decrease your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and other chronic health conditions? One study, published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, found that consuming 1 ounce of nuts or peanut butter, about 2 tablespoons, at least 5 days a week can lower the risk of developing diabetes by almost 30%. Peanut butter is chock full of heart-healthy monounsaturated fat, which is a good fat. A recent study found that insulin-resistant adults who ate a diet high in monos had less belly fat than people who ate more carbohydrates or saturated fat.
Hi, welcome back to The Balancing Act. Does this look like your home entertainment system? Well, if the answer is yes, we have some do-it-yourself tips that will help you get your entertainment world organized. I am here with Gina Daddario of Planet Waves, a company with a mission to help you simplify and organize audio and video cabling in your home. Sounds like a difficult task, Gina. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks very much, Danielle.
All right, here's the deal. I've done this. I've gone out and bought the big 72-inch, HD TV, and then I get home, I start to unpack it. Gotta buy wiring, gotta buy cabling, gotta buy all of this extra stuff. And then I'm thinking, I'm just calling a handyman. I can't do this myself.
Actually, I like to think about it in 5 easy steps, and that breaks down the whole installation process into a very manageable type of thing. The first step would be to create a plan. Take a look at all of the components that you currently have, any that you might be interested in adding or upgrading in your system. And to decide, what do you need, and to figure out how everything connects to each other. One thing that you definitely have to consider is how you're going to integrate standard and high definition components.
And that's your step one, and then you've also got some other steps that you've got to go through before you can really make sure this is all done.
The second step that we strongly recommend is that you create a system map. Visually create a representation of all your components so you can figure out how they're going to connect to each other, in what order. And that's going to help you determine more easily exactly what you need in terms of the products and connectivity for cabling. And it's also going to provide you with a little map and a guide to help you when you get to the installation process. So once you've gone through those first 2 steps, then you need to go and choose your cabling and connectivity. It can be very confusing to know what you need to buy for what components. So that's why we at Planet Waves have created our do-it-yourself home theater installation kits. This one box has one type of cable that you need and all the different connectors to connect all of your home theater components.
One cable.
Right, one type of cable.
That's interesting because you talked about having a plan, which I think a lot of us don't have when we're taking that out of that big thing out of the box. But you're talking about planning, mapping, and measuring. But here's the big thing that gets me all of the time, Gina. It's the wiring. Hate that.
Right, and it can be very confusing. There are many different products on the market. At Planet Waves, we have engineered one cable that will deliver crystal clear, high definition signal, and it will accommodate all different types of connectors that can get all of your components connected to each other properly.
So you've got that one cable. Is it a cable that you can cut to any length?
Yes, that's one of the great things about it, is that it can be custom cut to any length, and assembling the cable itself with the connector is very simple, easy process. You simply cut, attach the connector, give it a little twist, and screw it on. We also offer the kits in a variety of different sizes with different lengths of cable and up to 42 different connectors, so that can really accommodate whatever your needs are.
All right, Gina, most of the hard work is out of the way. All the pre-producing elements are done. Just a couple more steps to get through, right?
Right, steps 4 and 5. Step 4 is where you're going to actually go ahead and create your cables. And with the Planet Wave system, that's a very easy 3-part assembly process. All you need to do is cut the cable to the desired length. Then you're going to choose the right connector and slip it onto the end of the cable. Give it a little twist, use the included screwdriver to screw it together, and your cables are ready to go.
All right, that's great. And then step 5 is a really important element too.
Right, step 5 is to now actually go ahead and connect all of your components together, and this is where having that map that you drew earlier in the process will come in handy to help guide that more smoothly. Then, once you have everything connected the way you want, you're going to go ahead and use the little elastic cable ties, and that's going to keep all of the cables really neat and tidy behind the components and give you a very clean, professional look.
Well, I'll tell you, these DIY installation kits are a great solution. I really, really like them. What happens if our viewers want to find out more information on where they can purchase it?
Well, you can check us out online. You can visit our website, which is www.planetwaves.com/CE, or you can get them at www.crutchfield.com.
All right, Gina, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
And we appreciate you for joining us on The Balancing Act today. I'm Danielle Knox. Be sure to watch us every weekday right here on Lifetime Television. Tomorrow, some great solutions for quick and easy bathroom remodeling. Discover your inner creativity. Turn what you thought was trash into treasure. And the inside rules every working woman must know. We'll see you next time.
Air travel for The Balancing Act provided by Southwest Airlines.